Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force, and today we're taking a look at one of the classics in the Image stable. This is 1993's Bloodstrike. We're getting to the good stuff now. But I just wanted to say, if you enjoy the channel, if you want to support me as an artist, best thing you can do is you can open up the description. There's a couple of links there. First one will take you to my Patreon. And that's where, if you subscribe there, that's where all the Blood Force pages go. That's where all these videos go before they get uploaded to YouTube. And that's where some Patreon exclusive and some behind-the-scenes stuff goes. So that's worth checking out. The other one, you can go over to my Instagram because commissions are now open. So if you want your own Blood Force drawings, that's the place to go and get them. But getting back to Bloodstrike. So this is yet another Rob Liefeld spin-off title. We've had a few so far. I mean, the first one was Brigade, then we had Supreme, and this, I believe, should be number 3, April of 1993. Yep, that looks about right. Not counting things like Team Youngblood, Strike File, all that kind of stuff, which comes out around this time. But, I mean, that's all the regular characters, right? So this is yet another example of Rob trying to build just a world for his characters, which is admirable. It's impatient. You know, he wanted to shove a whole bunch of IP out there as soon as possible and didn't really try to build anything up first. There is an element of, like, I feel like he's pursuing, like, early days of Marvel where, you know, you just, like 1963 Marvel, you get all sorts of number ones that turn into classics. So you get your Avengers, you get your Amazing Spider-Man, you get your Uncanny X-Men, all this stuff, you know. And I think Rob's trying to go for that. He's not really coming up with very good concept. Well, you know what, actually, this concept is kind of interesting. Because the deal with Bloodstrike is that they are government funded, surprise, surprise, but they're not like Suicide Squad. And that they're not disposable soldiers, they're recyclable soldiers. So they're already dead. The deal is, they've been resuscitated. You throw them out into the field to go and deal with a threat. And once, the battle's over, if they win or lose, if they win, so much the better. If they lost, you scoop them up, you bring them home, and you revive them again. And it's all good. Which isn't a bad idea for a comic, really. And you could spin that in a couple of ways. And I believe early on in the run, we had Keith Giffen write a few issues, and I think he kind of went somewhere with that. But we're not going to see a whole lot of that really in the beginning here, because this part is the Blood Brothers crossover. And that's really what we're focusing on for this particular period. So before we get into the issue, I guess we should take a second to discuss the cover here. Because you had those ads that came out around this time that said, "Feel the blood," which is, okay, I see what they're saying is dumb, but I'm expecting dumb, so that's fine. And then the issue itself came out, and the cover says, "Rub the blood." It's like, Jesus Christ, where is this going? And you don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're talking about this splatter stuff here, but when you're just looking at it, you're like, is that like their Avengers Assemble? Because that's fucking lame. And it turned out what it was this stuff is kind of heat sensitive somehow. So, like, if you went like this for a couple of seconds, theoretically, it would fade and then come back. Which is, I mean, who cares? And, I mean, it doesn't work now, I don't think. It's a 30-year-old gimmick that didn't work very well when it was first introduced. So I don't think they tried this one again. We should really just kind of stick to Chromium. Chromium works. So, who's running the show on this? Why, who else? It's Rob Liefeld, creator, plots, and layouts. And you know what? In this case, I'll take Rob Liefeld doing layouts. We've seen early Dan Fraga trying to lay out pages, and he doesn't have it just yet. Rob can do it. That's fine. Pencils is Dan Fraga. Script, Eric Stevenson. So we'll keep an eye out for our cliches, our tough guy cliches. Oh, those will be good. Colors, Byron Talman and Brian Murray. All right. Some of this doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Lettering, Crit Hathaway. Yeah. Okay. And we've moved on. This is maybe the best Dan Fraga drawing from this era I've seen, to be honest. Oh well. Dan Fraga, he's gone on to, I'm not sure what he went into eventually. Yeah, I can't really tell what he's doing these days. He does seem to do comics a little bit every once in a while, particularly the Black Flag comic. So that's cool. And I think apart from that, he's mostly moved on to do something in film, I believe. That's where a lot of the Extreme guys particularly went. So we're going to start out here with Cabot, who is the leader of the Bloodstrike team. I'm going to have to be careful not to say Blood Force. I'm going to say Blood Force at least once. You know that's going to happen. And so Cabot is just kind of letting us all know what is going on in this first issue here. So he got an unexpected call from his source at Central Intelligence saying there's a problem with one of the Gate International armed facilities. So Gate is the company that Rob's come up with that seems to go across a few of his books. I think that was also the company in Supreme. I don't believe it shows up in Brigade anywhere yet. And that's really all they say here is there's a problem at this facility, so they're sending in Bloodstrike. And this is kind of typical Rob stuff where we don't describe anything interesting. We don't give any real kind of backstory. We just kind of fill word balloons. 2,100 hours, and everything's moving right on schedule. 4-plan Deadlock, go ahead and run recon, and we meet them up at the top of the peak. Okay, that's something I suppose. And they're just going to kind of waste time here while they're waiting for Rome, which is either a system or another super person, I'm not for sure, to teleport them into the heart of the facility here, which is called Jericho. And that's about it, really. This is some classic Liefeld stuff. And if you recall, we last saw Deadlock here in Youngblood #1. In fact, last saw him. That's the only time we ever saw him. When he was a member of the Four. So sometime, I would think, in between here and here, he died. And was just made part of the Bloodstrike team. Although we're not supposed to know that, so there's that, I suppose. And they rappel down the wall, they take out the guards, and then they move on. And that is the dinkiest little TV remote control gun I've ever seen, I think. But, like I said, Dan Frag is not there yet. I'm pretty sure he could pull something out a little bit better these days. This is a classic Rob Liefeld deal here. Don't work out any perspective. I suppose it's kind of, there's a little bit of dynamism to it. We actually get a bit of an impact instead of just guys flying. This is a decent pose. Particularly for Rob by way of Dan. I do like this where Cabot shoots his guys and they both do a little leap. A little solidarity death leap. And after the little shoot up, there's not a whole lot's happened yet, but we're not too deep into the story just yet. Cabot freezes up because he, apparently this reminds him of something that happened to him when he was alive. So they do say it right out the gate. And it just gives him a weird little deja vu kind of thing. So that's alright if that's going to happen again in future where they have personality problems like that because of that. That is a very Liefeld looking panel. Not bad, actually. Because, to tuck Cabot in the back here, but then the tag character looks pretty big. That's all right. The rest of it, whatever. I kind of like this. So then we come across, yeah, when Cabot snaps out of his little fugue here, we come across the commander of the Jericho station. So they've got them dead to rights, and he's saying how he's just gonna, kill them, no problem. And Cabot doesn't particularly care because not that it matters. It don't make a damn bit of difference when you're shooting at a dead man. We hear that a few times in this. Not that it matters in the final wash or anything, because and like, I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me personally, because when you keep saying it doesn't matter, okay, why do I care then? Why am I reading? Because Rob likes to set his teams up like they're unbeatable badasses, and it's like, okay, well then you're just telling me then there's no stakes. So why do I care? That's the part of the super teams you always got to remember, is like they have to actually have challenges, or else nobody gives a shit. So, right when they're about to pull the trigger on them, Shogun comes in, who's kind of, dude in gigantic armor, and it's not even armor, it's like half armor, half guns. All this dialogue, everything is perfunctory. It's unnecessary. Because that's the shot we're going for. Rip off Rob Liefeld, low effort guns. Oof. I kind of like all this stuff up in here. This is alright. But the rest of it doesn't look like much of anything. But I assume that would have been kind of fun to draw anyway. And then, that's decent. It's not great, but, could have been worse. Not that it would have mattered one way or the other. Shogun cuts them down before a single one of them has a chance to pull a trigger. It's like, okay, so, you let it slide in this particular issue, I think, because it's a number one. We're just introducing the characters, and maybe there's more challenges. Maybe there's a challenge of some kind. There hasn't been yet. So after Shogun shoots up the place, they find out that Corbin is actually a hologram. He hasn't been there the whole time, so they didn't have a shot at killing him. So they get to go search the facility for him. And Cabot is creeped out because Corbin knows his name. He says, "Thought you had me there, didn't you, Colonel Cabot?" So they jump on Shogun's back, which is handy. I mean, if you got a giant armor thing there, you might as well put in jump seats, right? And then we're going to cut back to outside the facility where Deadlock and Foreplay? Is that her name? It is too. It's Foreplay. Ooh. Alright. They're still knocking the shit out of guards out front. Just thinking about it here, Cabot really is one of the ultimate Rob characters. With the high ponytail and the big flak jacket, vest kind of thing, pouches around the arms, big metal groinal region, more pouches, straps, whatever this is. See, I say that, and then every other Liefeld character is the ultimate Liefeld character as well. So you can just ignore the last few seconds of me talking. Alright, so as I said, back to the yard out front. And we get some kind of typical... Because remember, Rob did the breakdowns for this. So this is all off of his designs. And it's kind of Liefeldian violence in quotations, in that it looks really weak. And it doesn't really look like impacts a lot of the time. See, there you go. There's an impact. But it's so rare you actually see it. You usually see this kind of thing with its flailing, and it doesn't even feel like anybody got hit there. It just, he waved at him, and he went, "Arg," and he fell over and started bleeding. So, Cabot and Tag and Shogun fly in. This is a fine panel, though, by the way. That's kind of fun. And drawing forearms on somebody can't be. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how that hooks up. It looks like he's trying. But I don't think it's very much fun. So, Cabot's going to tell Deadlock and Foreplay about how they're leaving now, because there doesn't seem to be any evidence that Corbin is doing anything untoward. He's just kind of doing his job, which means that somebody just has some kind of axe to grind, and, that's kind of par for the course, but, he's just going, I'm not just, that's not going to be the whole reason we're here, so I'm just kind of scrubbing it, we're going home. And then Corbin shows up to reveal his master plan in his little jetpack, that it was actually he who assigned Bloodstrike to attack the facility, because his higher-ups thought he was slacking off, so he figured if he could repel a Bloodstrike invasion, then that would convince them that he was the guy for the job. But, that's something, I suppose. I mean, all of his guards are dead, and he didn't really repel much of anything. He's just the only guy still alive at this point. I suppose that's something. So he shoots Cabot and says, "So much for the theory that you can't kill a dead man." And then he's surprised when Cabot gets up, because he's a revived dead man. Okay. And then Shogun shoots his packs out from under him. Again, this is kind of typical. Nothing clever, just, he gets shot down. And now he's just, now he's just a regular dude fighting against zombie dudes, zombie assassins, who, So I don't know how you win that one. But he's going to try. He's going to try and punch his way out of it. Again, Liefeld punches, where there's no real indication of impact. And then he gets his giant glow stick out from somewhere. I don't know where he was hiding that, but like back here. And Tag uses her ability, which is to freeze people. Okay, fine, sure. And kind of holds him in place so Shinobi can shoot the shit out of him. I'm pretty sure I thought this this page was pretty badass when I was like 14 or whatever. And then Bloodstrike just leave. And Cabot is explaining to, I don't know, his journal or his contact about how the mission went. I guess the mission was a success, even though nobody at whatever organization he works for actually assigned it. But, it's another like check mark on the record, I guess. And Cabot kind of bitches about, if we're not being used by one person, we're getting used by the next. Which could be, again, a fun thing to kind of explore over the course of the Bloodstrike series. I don't think that really comes up very much. And we get a little bit of what's going on in the rest of the Extreme universe, where Supreme is putting together Strike Force, which is heavy metal, over in the Supreme series. And there's a group of renegades operating out of Southern California. And they like to hang out in their thongs and their bike shorts and their ankle socks. So Cabot gets the facts, and it turns out it's Brigade. And Cabot goes, "It's been a long time coming, Battlestone, but it looks like we're finally going to get the chance to settle our differences once and for all. Brother to brother." And I don't know for sure if they're brothers or if he means like they were both in the Born Again program where they get revived. I'm sure they explain that at one point or another, but they do have several writers working on this series, so it might not even matter when they do explain it. But yeah, that is it for Bloodstrike. It's okay. I mean, I guess it's better than Brigade #1 was. It's not as interesting as Supreme. I didn't really notice anything by Brian Murray in there. I mean, stuff like that, sure, I guess. But like nothing really, none of his usual touches. All this kind of stuff, maybe. That said, I think he's working on trying to get Supreme #3 together. at this time. So maybe he didn't do it a lot. Maybe he's just doing more of a supervisory role. So anyway, yeah, we are now in the Blood Brothers crossover. So next one is going to be Brigade Volume 2, Number 1. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. We should be. Get some more Merritt Michaels up in here. The Merritt Michaels Dan Fraga crossover. It's going to be one for the ages. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications. Go follow me on Twitter. More importantly, go over to my Patreon and subscribe there. That's where all these videos go before they get uploaded to YouTube. That's where all the Blood Force pages end up, and that's where all of the behind-the-scenes and process stuff ends up as well. You can also go over to my Instagram. Commissions are open there, so if you want your own Blood Force artwork, that's where you would get it. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks very much again for watching this video. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.